Yo, memes are great. They're a good way to create humor out of any given situation. Like, look at this one. But some memes have some insanely absurd backstories that you would never imagine in 1,000 years. So today, I did some research and we are gonna go through a bunch of them. All right, let's do this. So first, we have this guy. Man, I don't mean to laugh, but it is pretty funny. Even this guy's laughing.
What do you mean by that?
Or not. Maybe I'm just going crazy. This guy, his name is Ricky Lockridge. And not many people know this, but he was a professional boxer and he was good. In his boxing career, he had 44 wins with 36 of them being knockouts. So he was a super fighter. But after he retired from boxing, his life went through a pretty downward spiral. And this tends to happen to fighters very often. The idea of fighting for a living to pay your bills to survive is such a blood-rising sport. It's barbaric. Even for me, when I dislocated my shoulder, I was fighting during that time for 5 months straight, practically every single day. When I dislocated my shoulder, the depression that hit me was intense. Because that's what happens when you go from fighting to not fighting. So think about somebody like this guy who was fighting for years to then not fighting. He went through an intense downward spiral. He fell into a depression, he developed a drug addiction, he was homeless at one point, he had terrible health issues. So in 2010, he appeared on a show called Intervention, which is a reality show where a camera crew will follow families giving interventions to their loved ones. No idea why that needs to be documented or put on camera, but yeah, these people made a show out of it and made a couple $1 million. On an episode, his family pleaded with him to go get some help, and he broke down crying. And this video,
because I know somewhere deep down in my heart, I still love you.
dude, I can't not laugh at this. It's not fair. Fuck. These are real tears. This isn't fake. This isn't him acting. This is real. This is as real as it gets. He was crying because he realized how much his family actually cared about him despite his mistakes, despite his anger, despite the problems that he's caused. And it meant a lot to him. That's where this came from. Turns out this intervention worked and he actually did stay clean for a very long time. But unfortunately, he did pass away at the age of 60 in 2019. So rest in peace to him. Next, the dog from the doge meme. Sorry, the cat from the doge meme. This guy right here, or girl. She was born at a puppy farm. And if you don't know what a puppy farm is for whatever reason, it's a farm where people will breed puppies to sell them for money. So they will try to perfectly genetically create dogs by breeding them by just, doing Minecraft shit, except in real life. But the farm that this dog was living at, sorry, cat, but the farm that this cat was living at closed down, leaving her and her siblings to die. Most of her siblings, unfortunately, ended up passing away. Damn it. It's not fair, son.
Yes, brother. This life is not fair.
It's not fair. But she didn't. So an animal shelter found her, and they scheduled her to be put down. But just as she was about to be put down, a kindergarten teacher spawned out of absolutely nowhere, and she was like, no, let me have this cat. So this dog had a terrible backstory, lost its whole family, lost all of its siblings, was supposed to die, but then came out alive. So shout out to the kindergarten teacher and the dog, because this dog is responsible for making thousands of people millionaires because of his face. But some more unfortunate, deeply sad news. She did pass away at the age of 18 years old. So everybody, say rest in peace to this good-ass boy. Next, the grinning girl. This one. The girl who was responsible for this meme, her name was Kalia Posey. She was on a show called Toddlers and Tiaras. This show. When one day she was doing an interview and she just did this face. The internet saw this and of course did what it does best, turned it into a meme. But this meme has a very dark side to it, and that involves her. Kalia actually unalived herself at the age of 16 years old, which is so ridiculously young. which honestly super caught me off guard because I would have never expected this to be the backstory behind the grinning picture. Something about animals and young people passing away just really, it's sad. It's sad. Rest in peace to her. Next. So I had to dig deep in the internet archives for this one, but you guys remember this meme? This meme is from relatively early meme era times. So like the end of the early 2000s and the beginning of the 2010s. This is like relatively early internet sense of humor. Like nowadays, if people were to look at this, they would be like, that's a red flag. That's definitely not something that should be overlooked or made into something funny. But basically, this kid went on TV and all he did was say, I just want to do hood rat stuff with my friends. And that's all people really knew about it. People didn't know what he actually was on the news for. What was the context behind him saying, I just want to do hood rat stuff with my friends, which basically means I want to be rebellious and I want to be an idiot and I want to cause some trouble. But nobody really processed that. This kid, his name is Latarian Milton. Back in 2008, when this kid was 7, damn, he's my age, or a little bit older than me actually. He stole his grandmother's SUV for pretty much no reason. I'm pretty sure I saw somewhere that he asked his mom to do something and his mom was like, nah. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna go crash my grandma's car. So that's what he did. He stole his car, picked up one of his friends, and drove around for miles, crashing into stop signs, crashing into poles, nearly hitting a few people, causing over $100,000 worth of damages. So the cops obviously got alarmed of the situation and they started tailing him. But since the situation was so bizarre, the news people were like, yo, why don't we just come through and interview this kid? So when the news showed up and they were like, yo, what the hell were you thinking? He said, I'll pull it up right now.
I want to do it because it's fun. It's fun to do bad things.
I want to do it because it's fun. It's fun to do bad things. Now, let's be adults here. Is that not a crimson red flag? A child being like, I want to do bad things? Hello?
Drive into a car.
So did you know that you could perhaps kill somebody?
Yes, but I wanted to do hood rat stuff with my friend.
Damn. So because he was 7 years old, nothing really happened. He basically got a slap on the wrist and was told to go home. Literally less than 2 weeks after this, he made news headlines again. Because he was in public with his grandma and he asked his grandma, I want fried chicken wings. And the grandma said no. So he beat the shit out of his grandma in public, hospitalized her shortly after this whole situation. Now, fast forward 10 years later, 2017 now, he made headlines again for being involved in a carjacking, which darkened this entire meme. I don't know why anybody is surprised. They positively reinforced the kid, who doesn't know any better, thinking that what he did was funny because of what he said. Now, I know that may not be the direct reasonings, but still, I'm gonna do the best of my ability to not ignore red flags like this in case another meme like this comes up. I'm gonna make my ass a video being like, hello, do you not see what the fuck is going on here? Anyways, that's that. 20,000 likes and I'll do a part 3, maybe. I'll see you on Friday.